So, what does it take to actually change the course of human history? Well, sometimes it just starts with an ordinary shepherd, his flock of sheep, and the sight that honestly just shouldn't be possible. Today, we're diving into that exact moment from the book of Exodus, a single, wild encounter that kicks off an epic mission of liberation.
I want you to just picture this for a second. We're out in the wilderness near Horeb, which is known as the mountain of God. And there's Moses, just doing his job. He's tending his father-in-law's flock. It's a quiet, pretty solitary life, a total world away from the centers of power. Nothing about this day feels special. Nothing suggests it's about to go down in history.
And then he sees it. Off in the distance, a bush is just completely engulfed in flames. But here's the thing that's so bizarre, the thing that defies all logic. The bush isn't burning up. It's not turning to ash. It's just on fire. An eternal, unconsuming flame.
Moses' reaction here is so interesting. He isn't terrified, at least not at first. He's curious. This supernatural event doesn't push him away, it actually pulls him in. He feels this need to go figure out the why behind what he's seeing, and it's that curiosity that really gets the whole thing started.
So as Moses gets closer, the whole vibe shifts, dramatically. A voice calls his name, right from the middle of the flames. This isn't just some weird visual anymore. This is a full-on divine encounter. The command to take off his sandals, that immediately establishes that this is a sacred moment. The ordinary dirt he's standing on has just become holy ground. And that's when the curiosity turns into fear, and Moses hides his face.
All right, so this whole burning bush thing, it wasn't just a spectacle for Moses' benefit. It was a signal fire for something way, way bigger. This was a meeting with a purpose, and a holy commission was about to be handed down.
And right here, God lays out the stakes. The problem is laid bare immediately. The Israelites, Moses' people, are enslaved in Egypt. Their suffering has been seen, their cries have been heard. This is not some distant, detached deity we're talking about. This is a declaration of direct concern and imminent action.
And God's solution? Well, it involves Moses directly. The entire mission boils down to two absolutely monumental steps. First, go confront the most powerful man on the planet, Pharaoh. And second, lead an entire nation of enslaved people to freedom. I mean, can you even imagine being given that to-do list?
Now, you might think a hero would jump at a chance like this, but Moses' reaction is just so profoundly human. He's not filled with courage, he's filled with doubt. This next part shows us his immediate and honestly very relatable crisis of confidence.
This question, this is everything. It's the cry of anyone who has ever felt completely and totally out of their depth. Moses looks at himself, a shepherd, an exile, and then he looks at the mission. And in his mind, the math just does not add up. He sees himself as a nobody, completely unqualified for the job.
But look at God's response. It's amazing. He doesn't even answer Moses' question directly. There's no pep talk, no listing of Moses' hidden talents. Instead, the whole situation gets reframed. The answer to "Who am I?" becomes, "It doesn't matter who you are, because I will be with you." The focus shifts completely from Moses' weakness to God's presence. That's a huge lesson right there.
Moses still isn't sold, though. He pivots to a new objection. And this one's pretty practical. He's thinking ahead, like, okay, even if I go, the Israelites themselves are going to be skeptical. They'll demand to know who sent me. I need some credentials here. I need a name.
So, in response to Moses' need for some real authority, God equips him with exactly what he asked for and a whole lot more. He gives him a name, a promise, and a detailed plan to back it all up.
This, right here, is the ultimate credential. I am who I am. It's a name that signifies this eternal, self-sufficient, absolute reality. It's a statement of ultimate authority. So when Moses tells the people, "I am has sent him," well, there's no higher authority you can possibly invoke.
And to make sure this powerful name doesn't sound like something totally new or foreign, God immediately connects it to their own heritage. He is the Lord, the God their ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, knew. This grounds the mission in their history, assuring them that this is the fulfillment of a promise that's been around for a very long time.
So Moses has a name and a promise, but now God provides a step-by-step strategy. This isn't just some vague order to go free my people.
No, this is a detailed plan of action that anticipates every single move.
Just look at how this is all laid out. First, get the Israelite elders on your side. Then, go to Pharaoh. And here's the crucial part. God tells Moses up front that Pharaoh is going to say no. This isn't a sign of failure. It's literally part of the plan. That refusal is what's going to trigger God's wonders, which will ultimately force Pharaoh's hand and start the Exodus. Every roadblock is already accounted for.
And the plan finishes with this absolutely stunning twist. The Israelites won't be fleeing like penniless refugees. God's going to make the Egyptians look on them with so much favor that they'll just hand over their wealth. It's framed as a kind of divine justice, really, a rebalancing of the scales for generations of unpaid forced labor.
So we're left with this incredible paradox, a history-making mission that doesn't start with a confident hero, but with a reluctant shepherd asking, "Who am I?" And the answer he gets isn't about his own strength, but about a divine presence and a plan that's bigger than any obstacle. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How often does a world-changing event begin not with a roar of confidence, but with the quiet admission that we just can't do it alone?